Hello, in this lecture we will talk about the story of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. Actually, in a nutshell, the story is about the adventures of two knights, Tariel and Aftandil. Tariel is the hero of the poem and he has the nickname The Knight in the Panther Skin, and Aftandil is the commander of the Arab armies. And in more detail, we can say that the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Toriel, with the nickname The Knight in the Panther Skin, and the second part is the search for Toriel's beloved, the Standard. So, in the first part, the search for Toriel, one day, Aftandil, the commander of the Arab armies, challenges King Ostevan, the king of Arabia, to a hunting competition. And after 3 days of shooting game, they take a break and they rest under a tree, and suddenly they saw a mysterious knight dressed with a panther skin crying by the river. King Ostevan was very curious to know who is the mysterious knight, so he sends slaves in order to know who is the mysterious knight, in order to contact the mysterious knight, but the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that came to encounter him, and then disappears. King Ostevan sends parties all over the world in order to find the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin, the only daughter of King Ostevan, asks from Aftandil to find the mysterious knight within 3 years, and in return she promised to marry him. So Aftandil searches for the mysterious knight for 2 years and 9 months, and finally he finds him, and the mysterious knight tells Aftandil that his name is Tariel and that he was the commander of India's fleet, and that he was also in love with King Parsedan's daughter, Standard, but she was abducted by the Kaji, the demon king. And from that moment he became very depressed and he was crying all the time. So when Aftandil hears the story, he was very excited, and he promises Tariel friendship and brotherhood, and he also promises him to help him to find his beloved, the Standard. Okay, so that is the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved, the Standard. In the first part of the story, Aftandil, Tariel, and Pridon, that is the ruler of the city Mugazanzar, and also 300 soldiers with 300 soldiers go together to the country of the Kajis in order to rescue Nestan from her captivity. But the problem is that the Kajis country is a fortress, and it is actually impossible to infiltrate to that fortress. And in addition, the Kajis are very strong fighters, and also the Kajis imprisoned Nestan in the top of a high-rise building, and 24 hours guards secured the prison in order to prevent from her to escape and in order to prevent from others to rescue her. So actually it was impossible mission to rescue Nestan from her captivity. But against all the odds, the Avtandil, Tariel and Nestan and 300 soldiers succeeded to do the unthinkable. That is to say, they succeeded to rescue Nestan from her captivity. And the story has an happy ending in the sense that Tariel, in the sense that Avtandil marries his beloved Tinatin, and Tariel marries his beloved Nestan Darajan. Okay, so the story, even in more detail, as I already mentioned before, the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is Avtandil's quest for Tariel, the titular The Knight in the Panther Skin, and the second part is Avtandil's quest for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's love. In the first part, the search for Tariel, the king of Arabia, Rostevan, has no chance and confers the kingship on his only daughter, the beautiful and wise Tinatin. She has a tender affection for Avtandil, the knight and commander-in-chief of Rostevan's armies. One day, Avtandil challenges King Rostevan to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight crying by a river. He is dressed in a panther skin and kills the slaves sent by the king to contact him, then disappears. Rostevan sends parties across the world to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin asks Avtandil to find the strange knight in 3 years, promising him her hand in marriage in return. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, Avtandil finds the knight in the panther skin hiding in a cave with only a maiden for company. His name is Tariel. He is the son of King Saridan, who has the 7th kingdom of India. He had served as heir to King Parsedan, king of the other 6 kingdoms, for many years before falling in love with Parsedan's daughter, Nestan Darajan. Tariel wages war with the Katavians to earn the favor of Nestan, but is dismayed to learn that she has already been promised to the Khwarezmian prince Khwarezm. Tariel couldn't bear the idea of her marriage, and at Nestan's request he killed the suitor. The princess was placed on a boat and set adrift on the seas. Despite Tariel's lengthy search for his love, he couldn't find her. Later he met Nuradin Pridon, ruler of Mulgazanzar, who told him that Nestan was alive but trapped on a distant boat. Tariel retired to a cave to live in the wilderness with Asmat, the former servant and messenger of Nestan. Moved by this story, Oftandil promises his friendship and brotherhood to Tariel and agrees to help him find his love, Nestan Darajan. Oftandil returns home to Arabia and tells Tinatin the story of Tariel. Against King Ustevan's wishes, he returns to his new friend Tariel. This is the first part of the story, that is to say, the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Nestan Darajan. In the second part, Oftandil then leaves Tariel to go to the kingdom of Pridon, where he doesn't hear anything new about Nestan. Continuing his quest, he arrives in the city of Gulansharo. He meets Patman, the wife of the chief Hussein, who falls in love with him. Oftandil, sensing she knows the fate of Nestan, succumbs to Patman's seduction. She tells him she has been keeping Nestan at her place, and as Nestan was promised to the king's son, she helped her escape. But in her flight, Nestan abducted by Kaji, the demon king. Oftandil then returns home to Pridon and to the cave of Tariel, and later all the three friends, that is to say Oftandil, Tariel and Pridon, decide to go to the country of Kaji with an army of 300 men to find and deliver Nestan. When she is released, all return to Arabia, where King Rostevan forgives Oftandil his flight and breaking the king's orders. They all celebrate the marriage of the latter, that is to say Oftandil, with the king's only daughter Tinatin. They then leave for India, where Tariel marries his love Nestan. Pridon also returns to his homeland, that is to say Mulgazanzar, and the three friends reign happily with prosperity and generosity in their own respective realms. Okay, thank you very much.